Many families will be tucking into some traditional Easter lamb this Sunday, but if you're not the biggest fan of lamb, don't worry, Marcus is here with an alternative. Oh, Marcus,
yes, there's lots of great ingredients. So I've got some of my favourite things. We've tried to go seasonal as well, because this time of year, spring, we've got wild garlic. You can actually pick up from some supermarkets, but of course you can get it yourself as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to make a wild garlic pesto. We're going to top it on a side of salmon. Going to go into the oven. So I'm going to get you... we'll dig in straight away, just so we get started.
OK.
Does one of you want to make the pesto for me? Super simple.
Did you just back off?
He's just got straight in there. He's like,
yeah, exactly how it goes when I'm in the kitchen.
Right, OK, yeah. I mean, do you know, in the flat that we were renting before, there used to be wild garlic that grew in the garden. I used to use it in the garden.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So we've lightly sort of chopped that, so that's going to go into our blender.
Does it have to be wild garlic?
No, you can use anything. So, of course, spinach is great. You can also use rocket if it's getting a little bit, you know, sort of like the day before it goes off. You can use coriander, parsley. I mean, get creative with this. And you don't have to have all the set ingredients like pine nuts we always talk about, but actually I'm using hazelnuts today.
Love hazelnuts.
Peanuts would be great. Almonds, you know. And if you wanted to make something that's vegan, you could take out the parmesan. If you don't want any nuts in it, for someone who's got a nut allergy, just take things out. It's still a pesto. So
amazing. Then
parmesan in here. OK, so great parmesan. Do you want to pop some of those nuts in there, Kat?
Yeah, sure I will.
And then we're going to pour some oil. And we want to be quite generous with the oil.
Yeah.
And that's going to allow us to bring it all together. When you pour that in,
OK.
You can put it in.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put a bit of seasoning. So really important. Keep going.
Yeah.
Fairly generously.
Oh, like a...
Yeah. Really drown it.
Perfect. Yeah, nice.
Because it's got to loosen all up,
Well, it's got to loosen it all up, yeah. So now, if you just want to press that little pulse button, seasoning's really important in pestos. Now, this is... Go on, spray that little boogie. Really important to make sure when you're making a pesto that, of course, we've got the seasoning in there. The seasoning enhances the flavour. So if it's wild garlic, it's going to make it taste even better.
Good?
So you go like that, and you should have a little teaspoon. Do you want to both have a little taste of that?
Yeah.
What's the texture we're looking for here?
So it really depends on how you want to do it. I'd put some more parmesan in. Just go in with the rest of that. And you know what, we'll put a few extra nuts in.
I do like the crunchy of the
I do as well. I like it a bit thicker, chunkier.
Yeah. There we go.
You got more salt as well.
Yeah. So mix that up. And then I want to have another
little taste. It doesn't necessarily have to be pureed all the way down.
No. You can do this down. And again, if you haven't got a little blender like this, of course, you can just simply use a little pestle and mortar. Absolutely fine.
Oh, it's delicious.
Maybe we can just breathe on the gladiator.
Oh, yeah, you'll have a few interesting guests after this one when you breathe. But it is wild garlic's milder than anything else, so it's got a really nice one. Now, we're going to serve that over the top of here, so what I'll get you to do in a second, but we're going to serve this with what I call peas à la française, basically, which is peas which have been cooked down with lettuce.
Peas à la française?
Yes.
Can I just say, if you follow Marcus on Instagram, you will get some of the sexiest recipe voiceovers you've ever heard. This is what Marcus is like on his Instagram. It's well worth it. Have a little watch.
Oh,
start by roasting potatoes in the oven until soft. Scoop out the centres and push it through a fine sieve. Once that butter's melted down, add in the eggs on a medium heat. Just keep taking the pan on off the heat. Slowly cook the eggs.
Look at that.
Pop it in the oven 200 degrees for 10 minutes. Take it out.
That sounds quite nice. I haven't heard myself in the studio.
You know exactly what's happening. But you never go...
It's the brother of the Cadbury bunny.
By the way, you never go pea à la française in your voiceovers when you're doing your sexy voiceovers on Instagram.
No, I mean, one of the reasons, I tell you how... Well, my wife will correct me on this, but she told people what happened. So normally I'd do the video, I'd do it, get it done, edit it. And then when I came to do the voiceover, I was trying to do it. And most of the time, the kids are in bed, I'm sitting sort of down and I'm just trying to do it quite quietly. Sometimes I'm actually sitting on the toilet because it's a nice, quiet room. And I did the voiceover and Jenny's like, she tells everybody that and it just loses the whole thing. Anyway, we know
That's what I'm going to picture from now on, though.
So we've got the pesto over the top of the salmon and that's going to go in there. I'm going to have this lovely fried bit of bacon.
Deeper.
Now, look at this.
Voice.
It's beautiful smoked bacon topped over the lovely wild garlic pesto. And then we're going to pop that in the oven on a low heat, very slow, and just get it just pink and delicious in the middle. Right, into there. That's going that side.
That was brilliantly done.
Oh, you got me on that one, didn't you? I didn't even know that was coming.
It's good.
So the peas are cooking down with the lettuce. And most people think of lettuce as being lovely and fresh. It's great in salads, but also really, really delicious cooked down. So cooked with butter. So now in here...
And that's iceberg lettuce, right?
Iceberg lettuce, yeah. But you could use any sort of fresh, crisp lettuce. You know, you can use some cos. I'm going to just pop this down here. And what I'm actually going to get you to do is you can start serving this on your beautiful plates here.
OK.
So this has been slow cooked. Now, the great thing about salmon is don't overcook it. I did a little tip earlier on. So when you're cooking salmon, slow and low is good, but also getting it slightly pink in the middle. It keeps the flavour of the salmon. Don't overcook it. So a lot of people go very high and aggressive. I've gone low on this, about 110 degrees. Now, you're going to pop that onto there.
Yep.
We've got the lovely peas. Oh, my goodness me, look at this.
Yeah.
Are we going to you or are you coming to us?
I'm going to come over. Oh, look at this. Should we just do it like dinner style? Look at this. Now, there's a couple
chicken.
of little bits in here. There we go.
That looks delicious too.
So inside of here, we're going to just add a little bit of seasoning over the top of this as well. Little sprinkle of seasoning. I'm going to do some little chivies in here.
Yeah, lovely.
There we are, over the top of that.
Yes.
I'll do the same on this side. And then I've got some lovely new potatoes. Now, for me, potatoes just cooked in a little bit of butter with some chives, a bit of salt and pepper.
He's
nothing
slipping
else.
back into it. Can you hear it?
Yeah, you
Just-
can't help
oh,
yourself. It's like he's on the loo again.
Oh. Oh, yes.
Here are the little...
No, it's not this again. But just, for me, it's always about making sure when we've got things in here, you know, and I think food, I mean, Nigella was the classic sexy food person, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
Talking about that lovely flavour. And I think for me, that's what food is about. It's about bringing flavours together, making them shine on a plate, making sure everything tastes amazing. But, of course, when you're talking about things like butter and fat, I mean, it is sexy, isn't it? It's delicious. It's cool.
Very,
it's
very
cool.
sexy. I mean, that looks sexy, to be honest.
For that, look at that.
4.
And then if you've got... Now, this is one thing I've done. I'm going to show you, actually, got a whole piece here. Don't waste the salmon skin. Some people don't like it. Pop it on a tray, a little bit of oil and salt, roast it in the oven. That's a whole salmon skin that we've taken off, and it makes this lovely salmon skin wafer, which we can just use as a little garnish, little crackling.
It's
salmon
really good
crackling
for
on
you,
top.
salmon skin.
Very good,
isn't
a lot of
it?
nutrients in it, and that's good with the slow cooking as well.
Yeah.
Dig in, have a
Lemon?
taste.
Wow.
You squeeze the lemon over?
You can have a little squeeze of lemon, yeah, why not? Why not?
You've put it out, so I kind of feel like
You've got quite a lot of balance of sort of fats in there, so sometimes acidity is really good to sort of bring in that flavour. Oh, I'm just going to have a little bit of stuff off the tray. But the pesto is so good. Now, you could, like as we said, if you can't get wild garlic, but having a pesto, it preserves the ingredient for longer, so you can have it in a jar in the fridge. You can use it to mix through into simple pastas, even just new potatoes and vegetables.
Stops the salmon from overcooking and going dry too. Huh?
Light, gentle, delicate.
That salmon is
creamy.
really, really tender, isn't it?
Delicious.
So good, yeah.
But
And this
still
was in the oven for about 40 minutes, which seems quite a long time. But 100 degrees, 110 degrees, absolutely delicious. And that crispy little bit of salmon skin on top.
Oh, I love the peas and the lettuce.
Oh, I mean,
Fabulous.
there you go.
Delicious.
Done.
Marcus,
Easter
thank you.
feast, absolutely
Wow,
delicious.
yeah, kind of do. Thank you very much.
There you go.
For details on today's recipe, check out our free This Morning app.